well, Coach? Is this one of those just get to the finish line kind of games?
Sort of. There's going to be some great games. When you play your 18, there's going to be some great games. This was more of a great basketball game, at least from my standpoint. I mean, I think there were some errors on both sides and a little bit of sloppy play maybe on both sides at times. But in terms of effort from all the guys that were in the game at all times, I thought it was tremendous effort from both teams. They ran their stuff well, especially in the second half. We had a hard time stopping them, which that hasn't been the case for 4 or 5 games. Our defense has been really solid. So you just obviously want to get to the finish line and cross it first, but this one was more of just a good, hard-fought game, I thought, by both teams. We played good, and we had to have some big plays down the stretch.
When you jump out to that first half lead, and then they come back and take the lead in the second half, and your offense can't really get much going, is there any feeling of here we go again, like we saw in Evansville?
No, not really. This one felt different, I think. It did for me. I thought that that first half, that stretch there was as good a basketball as we need to be able to play as a team. With different guys, with Bo and Dion knocking in threes, and defensively, I felt like we took away the stuff we needed to. And I thought we continued to play really hard. I felt like at Evansville we drifted just a little bit, and I don't have an answer as to why, Carson, but I didn't feel that tonight. I felt like we kept punching back at them, and just happened not to get some points, and it got down by 1. I felt good about the way we were playing.
Seth was obviously their focus. They had that guard crash and the other big standing there. Did you expect that out of them, and how do you feel your guys adjusted to it?
They did a lot of that last year. So we knew they were going to send at least a second guy, and most likely they were going to have the guy guarding Marv was going to be on there as well. So we talked about that a lot the last 2 days. And, you still want to be able to run your stuff. So we took a shot at some things, and we got some things. There was some openings there for us, but over the course of the 40 minutes, they probably took away more things than we got. And that's a credit to what they did, what their plan was. But no, coming in, we knew that there was going to be a lot of that.
What do you think about Bohannon with his 3-point shots tonight, basically giving you guys the edge, especially in that first half?
Yeah, that was, and he made 1 or 2 in the second half that were really important as well. We didn't score a lot in the second half, and the 1 or 2 that he made were big threes in that second half. It's great to see. I mean, he hasn't changed any, in terms of how much he works at it. He's in every single day at 7 o'clock, and he's shooting his 500 shots and doing his thing. So tonight it certainly paid off for our team. We needed that. The way that they were going to defend the paint, the way they were going to defend Seth, we needed that tonight. He brought it.
Jacob, what makes Indiana State's been pretty productive offensively throughout conference play? What's the challenge in defending them? What makes it difficult for them to
they
stop?
The combination of the guys. When you have 2 bigs that are that skilled, both guys in the starting lineup can make threes, and they're both good passers. So the floor automatically expands. Usually there's a guy on the floor of the 5 that doesn't shoot a 3 or doesn't dribble the ball or doesn't pass it that well, and you can kind of shrink the floor a little. Well, you can't do that. And so now you've got to cover more ground with your defense. And then the combination of having 3 guards in there with those guys that can all drive it and shoot the ball just well enough from the 3-point line that you can't just you can't play off anybody. So you got to guard all of them at all times, and that makes it difficult. The combination of those guys that drive it with 2 bigs that are that skilled.
Nate didn't appear to have his best tonight, but you went with him in crunch time.
Didn't appear to have his best game.
I think he's played better before.
I think that was boy, he struggled, didn't he? Yeah, he just.
But you went with him, and I guess what were you hoping to see him break out of it, or?
When he wasn't in, was hoping to get enough going. We scored enough in the first half without him. In the second half, we just didn't have quite enough room. We didn't create enough. And, we had a couple open looks. I think Jeremy had a couple open threes that didn't go. And we were at the free throw line a couple times and didn't convert. So we had a couple of chances on offense. But as soon as he goes in the game, their defense offense changes, right? A little bit like we just talked about with Indiana State. When you've got, and we do a lot, we've got Seth and Nate in the game. Now we've got 5 guys and the floor expands for you. So when Nate's in and we put him in the ball screen or we stick him in a corner, they're not going to help. And now Seth has got a little bit of room. So I made the decision late to go back with him. When I took him out the last time prior to that, I made the decision that he wasn't going back in. Usually I'm pretty stubborn, and I'm glad that I went back with him.
And also, Paul, anything wrong with him? Only 3 minutes.
Yeah, he wasn't feeling great the last couple of days.
Okay.
Yeah, he spent most of the last 2.5, 3 days just trying to get better, cold flu type stuff. So he wasn't able to practice the last 2 days.
Okay.
Coach, about a minute left. You got 12 seconds on the shot clock. You run that ball screen with Tubbley gets the switch. Gets a 3-point play, puts you up 4. Is he asking for the ball in that huddle?
Oh yeah, there's I don't think there's any question for our guys, Kale, that we want him to touch the basketball in that situation. And whether we've got a lineup with Marvin in the game, where they're going to crowd him a little bit, or we've got Nate in the game where he's going to have a little more space, either way we want him to touch him. And then it's our job as coach. We just got to get the other guys in the right spots. And most of the time he'll find them. I thought tonight he rushed it a couple times, and he held it a little long a couple times. But this will be good film for him to look at. And I think it's going to help us going forward so we can see where guys were and where he maybe could have avoided a couple of those turnovers. But no question, we want him touching that ball in that situation. Yeah.